Hello and welcome to the third episode of By Night. There is the 260 that I just got off. We are at White City Bus Station, which is at the northern end of the Westfield London Shopping Centre, and I'm going away from good lighting. And it's quite a major bus hub for West London. We've got, the Superloop SL8 here, we've got the C1, the 49, the 260 that I just got off. And there's a 95 still running. I didn't realise 95 was still running at this time. It's about 25 past midnight, and I've got about 10 minutes before the first bus of this episode, which will be the 220, which runs, it's obviously, it's not got an N, it's a 24-hour daytime service, and it runs from Willesden Junction down to Wandsworth Town Centre. We'll be on it from here at White City down to Putney Bridge. So the plan for tonight is finally, for once in this series, to spend some actual time south of the river. I say for once, as if we're more than 2 episodes in. Speaking of, it is the night after that video went live. The video went live at 6 AM this morning. So yeah, I'm straight on it. Where is this bus stop? I'm trying to find where the 220 actually... I think it's over there. You can't see, because obviously I'm filming me. That B5 doesn't sound healthy. I don't even think it's a B5 at this point. That sounds really bad. What was it? Hang on. No, it wasn't a B5. It was like a little dust cart thing. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just walking down. Westfield Shopping Centre is behind me. That's one of the many entrances that absolute maze of a facility has. I don't like Westfield London. Westfield Stratford is so much better. And it's got Westfield Stratford has like a nicer atmosphere as well. Anywho, yeah, tonight we're going south of the river. We're going to be going to places as glamorous as North Cheam and Kingston, which, to be fair, truck. I say glamorous in a sort of sarcastic way. North Cheam and Kingston are quite nice. Certainly better than some places we'll end up this series. But that is for later this series. For tonight, I'm going to get on the 220 from White City. Right, so as ever, we're getting off to a flying start, in that my 220 seems to be running about 10 minutes late. Shouldn't affect the night too much, but we will see how it goes. Buses run less frequently during the night, and I'm used to the very high frequencies that we get during the day, so we'll have to see. I'm looking up because there's a bus, but it's not mine, it's an LT. So yes, I didn't actually talk about it at all. I put on a happy face for last episode, but the start of last episode was an absolute disaster. There were problems on the 487, which meant that I wouldn't have been able to get the first N18 of the night, which would have meant I'd have been able to get more done. And then so I got up to Harrow Weald intending to get the second N18 of the night at 10 to midnight, which didn't show up. So I ended up on the third N18 of the night at 20 past midnight, which, yeah, meant that we only got as much done as we did. But we still got 6 routes done. I can't sniff at 6 routes. I was kind of expecting to get 3 or 4 done, but we've got 6. And by expecting, I mean, on an average episode. Maybe we'll be dragged down to more like 3. But we'll see. We're definitely going to get more than that done tonight. But yes, I'm going to keep an eye out for this bus. It's going to be a Right Eclipse Gemini 3 on a Volvo B5LH. I said last episode we're going to get very used to that type. And, well, we're starting off on one, just as we did last week. So that's fun.
Okay, so, post me here to talk about the 220, because as you can probably hear, although I have turned the levels down, but as you can almost certainly see in the reflection of the window, the 220 I ended up on was absolutely rammed, and naturally, that's not a particularly fun place to yell into a camera at about a bus route, especially the one that you're on at that moment. So, yeah, the 220. It's one of the 24-hour daytime services that we have down here in London. It runs from Willesden Junction station to Wandsworth, and along the way it goes through Harlesden, White City, Shepherd's Bush, Fulham, Putney Bridge, and then once it gets down to the other side of Putney Bridge, it turns left and just runs along or near South Bank down into Wandsworth Town Centre, and it terminates in a little side street near the Southside Shopping Centre, just south of Wandsworth Town Centre. So it's usually run with all sorts of different hybrid double-deckers. It's operated by First Bus now, but First Bus took over very recently from RATP, who just sort of got whatever was going when it came to double-decker buses. So sometimes you get an Enviro 400 hybrid on it, sometimes you get a B5LH, sometimes that B5LH will be a Gemini 3, sometimes it'll be a Gemini 2. It's a real mixed bag of a route. Even overnight, when you'd think that they have enough buses spare that they can make it consistent, there just doesn't seem to be the desire to make it consistent, and I think that keeps it fun. So, yeah.
And they were trying to go somewhere. We were stopped in traffic, like him saying they were going somewhere. Just to make it look like a bit more like leisure. The pattern till I looked my tooth. Literally like this. It went through my lip, bro. And you were like this. There was a hole in my lip all the way through, bro. I called that girl. I went and linked her. She cleaned me up and that. And then after she stayed there for like 15 hours, bro. One bar, like just getting smashed, bro. I had to tell you to stop. I took you to one side. I can't lie, like, part of me, like, when I was drunk out there, I don't know if rimming's the right word, but like, did you have your own villa, or did you have
Putney Bridge Station, North Street.
his missus is there as well, but she, her family are all there. She's been here like 10 years, but she hadn't seen none of her sisters and that for that 10 years.
So, I'm at Putney Bridge. That was a bus ride. That was one of the bus rides I've ever been on. Basically, the 220 that I said was running about 10-15 minutes late. Just got later and later and later, and then got cancelled at the stop before the one that I was going to get on at. I'm now trying to find Putney Bridge station to join on the 93. But yeah, so it got cancelled, so I had to get the one behind, which itself was running late. And because there was that cancelled one, and that was the last of that one that got cancelled, was the first one of the sort of low frequency overnight operation. The bus behind was absolutely rammed. I got a video of it when it pulled up, and it was, there were people standing near the front doors, which that's when you know things are not well on London buses, and I don't know where I'm going. Is this way a way that I can go to Putney Bridge Station? Oh no, wait, there's Putney Bridge Station. I'm just going to wait on Putney Bridge itself. I know where I'm going there. But yeah, so I could not get a word in edgeways, even if I wanted to with the bus that busy. Because also, as you could hear from the B-roll that I wasn't talking over, post me, please remember to put some post commentary about the 220 as a route. Yeah, it was, London has the best public transport in the United Kingdom, but that does not mean it's immune to failure from time to time. And I think that is certainly one of the examples. But that means I'm now quite far back on time, and I just saw a 93 pull away as we were pulling in. So I probably got half an hour to sit on Putney Bridge. Which, I mean, there's worse places to be stuck. Putney Bridge is quite nice. So yes. The 220 is normally quite a nice bus route. I quite enjoy using the 220. Gets you where you're going, it's pretty direct, it's nice. But, from time to time, it goes a bit wrong. And, things happen, buses break down. I have no idea what happened in this case. But, I got where I was going eventually, and that's the important part. So I'm aware it's very, very dark. But there are certainly worse views to have when waiting for your bus. Looking out over the Thames on Putney Bridge. It's quite nice. So,
Putney Bridge.
You now join me on E98, which I did get on from the tube station, because I worked out how you get there, and here I am on E98. I'm the only one on board at the minute. That's going to change. So yes, the 93, it's one of London's 24-hour daytime services, running from Putney Bridge to North Cheam through places such as Morden. I'm not too familiar with this route. I should have checked, seeing as I'm doing the whole thing, all the way down to, well, like 3 stops before the end, but it's North Cheam. Yes, in a surprisingly rare turn of events for the By Night series, this is on time. So, having just gone over Putney Bridge, I've brushed up on this route. It goes through Roehampton, Wimbledon and Morden to get to Putney Bridge. Obviously EE98 is one of the many BYD D8UR double-deckers with Enviro 400 EV bodywork, which, as I described last episode on the 69, are just Enviro 400 cities. They have a slightly different rear end because of the batteries, but they're just Enviro 400 cities.
2 North Cheam.
The iBus on this is quite nice. It's loud, but it's not like the 129 and the SL4. It's quite nice. Good volume, and the speakers are decent on these, so they sound good as well. What is there more to say about the 93? Oh yeah, it's Go Ahead London. This is their future bus spec interior, which I quite like.
Putney Exchange.
With these Civic B3 seats. They're, cute little leather headrests, and sort of, aside from a few blue accents in the seats, it's just great. But it works really, really well. So yes, I will go to B-roll on the 93.
Prince Corner. Wimbledon Station. Wimbledon Theatre. Rutland Drive. Tudor Drive.
Ooh, that's my hand. So, I've now made it to North Cheam. There goes my bus, EE98. It's just got a few more stops left to go. Although I will be noting it on the felt as full route. But again, between you and me, no, I got off like a few stops early. So, I'm now going across the road to get the 213. Another one of London's 24-hour daytime routes over to Kingston, where finally I'll be picking up a proper N prefix night route. Finally. I'm gonna go over here and get it from the north side. Right, there's no one coming, I'm not gonna wait for the junction. You don't always need to wait at this time. Like, I mean, London Road through North Cheam is very, very busy, and this intersection is very, very large. But it's what, 2:30 in the morning? Yes, it's 2:36 in the morning. So I'm not waiting. I'm going when it's safe, not necessarily when it says it's green. So I'm crossing over again. Right. Again, crossing roads, trying not to die. It's very important, not dying. So, yes, I'm going to get on the 213. We're going to have another one of those D8URs, because the 213's been running with those since 2022 or something. They're certainly far from the first routes to get them around here, but what is notable is that they replaced... Oh, it's blue. What's notable is that they replaced the Trident-powered Optera Steams, which... well, they're Deckers, so they're Olympuses, but they replaced the Optera Olympuses, which, you know, were very well loved. And now that the Electroliners are coming on the 151, which we won't be covering this series because it's a daytime route only, the DOEs are now extinct in London. They used to be all over this area, and only in this area. But yeah, they're gone now. Absolutely none. So I am picking up the 213 from Wellington Avenue Stop A, which is served by the 151, aforementioned, and the 213. So there's absolutely no light here whatsoever. Oh, there's a bit. So yes, I'll see you from the 213. In fact, I can see it. It's literally on the junction right now, so yeah, I better wrap up.
To Kingston. Lindsay Road. Court. Longfellow Road.
So, you join me on EE122, another one of Go Ahead's BYD D8UR
Malden Green
Enviro
Avenue.
400s, and we're on the 213, which runs from Sutton through Cheam, North Cheam, Worcester Park, which we just went through in that lovely B-roll, then up through New Malden and into Kingston. It basically follows that little middle section of the SL7. It's a very useful little connection, especially at night. So yeah, again,
53. It's like
Lyndhurst Drive.
a cut down all stops version of the SL7 at night. And I'm on this all the way to Kingston. So, let's get back to some B-roll.
Wandsworth Park. Lakes Lane. St James Church, Kingston Bypass. New Malden High Street. New Malden Station. Gordon Road. Norbiton Church, Tipping Boys School. Fairfield Bus Station.
And now I am in Kingston. I am at the Fairfield bus station on the edge of the town centre. I'm going to go back here where there's some light. Just got off the 213. Very nice run. We were running a little bit late, which meant nice and sprightly. And just like with the BYDs on the 108, those D8 URs have a nice bit of punch to them. They get about. They're pretty swift. I like them. Have I said that I like those D8 URs enough? I shouldn't like them as much as I do, but they're really nice buses. So, my next move is I'm going to get the N87 all the way to Trafalgar Square. And after that, I'm thinking we go back south of the river yet again, and we get the N53. And from there, who knows? it might be the end of night service by the time I get off the N53, and I might have to round it off in Plumstead or whatever. But we'll see. I'm getting on the N87, all the way back to London. I'm speaking from behind the camera. What do you call this? Is this C-roll or something? I don't know. But I've just found, and naturally it doesn't want to be light, but the N87, timetable here, too dark to see, it runs every 15 minutes. Like all week, every 15 minutes. Like, what's going on? I thought night buses running that frequent was like a special thing, like a rare thing. Like, what's going on? Yeah, the N18's every 15 minutes. N18? No. N87, it's every 15 minutes. Well, the N18's every 15 minutes too, if you're going to Sudbury on a weekday. But, yeah, if you want to see more about the N18, go to episode 2. It's not doing so hot on views as I'm recording this. Shameless plug, but, you know. Join me on LT65 on the N87. So, the N87. It is an extension of the daytime 87 from Wandsworth down to Kingston. I believe it broadly follows the 85 down through the likes of Putney Heath, and there's a can rolling around on the floor. Isn't that lovely? But yes. So we're just sneaking our way through Kingston Town Centre now. And then from Wandsworth, the N87 broadly sort of goes through sort of inner South London. I believe it goes through Vauxhall, and then uses Westminster Bridge to cross the Thames, and then goes up Whitehall through Trafalgar Square, and it terminates at Aldwych. I'll be getting off at Whitehall to link on to the N53, but that's for about an hour's time or so. It's quite a long run. To Whitehall it's about 16 miles. To Whitehall, to Aldwych probably a bit longer.
Zusagen an Hedwig. Quatsch oder Quatsch? Ne? Nee, war okay.
zweite Mal. Ja. Witzig. Bohrhafte Chemie eingebaut. Muss ich zugeben.
Also,
Paul könnt ihr auch nicht von Anfang an. Aber mit dir, am besten gleich mit dir, Malte, Jona, Nico sowieso, toll.
also mit Holger müsste ich noch reagieren, aber würde ich nicht tun, glaube ich.
Ja.
Ich bin gar nicht aufgepasst, wie lange macht er das jetzt schon?
Ja, mit dem gewesen. Ja. Sehr gut.
Ja, vielleicht mit deinem YouTube-Kanal oder so. Aber das Beste ist, wenn die ganze Zeit quetscht und jetzt schon seit einer Dreiviertelstunde oder so. Genau.
Dafür kann er übersetzen.
Ich überlege mir jetzt wirklich in seinem Heimatland und auf einmal kannst du Deutsch, deswegen. Wollen wir das ewig irgendwie.
Ewig, ich meine das gar nicht so.
Nee, du bist kein Deutsch, das haben wir nicht so gesagt.
Nee. Hedwig ist die attraktivste Frau, die ich je in meinem Leben gesehen
Auf
habe.
jeden, auf jeden.
Wir wollen alle mit Hedwig schlafen.
Wir haben noch nichts geredet, oder?
Stimmt, das hat er auch gesagt. Teuer, du bist unser Freund, finde ich cool.
Ja, alles gut. Oh Mann, nee, Kaufstoff, wir mögen dich auch.
Ja, scheiße, da war ja noch was.
Auch an die Schade.
Nee, das ist eine Lüge. Herrlich.
Aber das ist ziemlich fette Rede.
Ja, komm, Bock mal. Hätte ich aber auch nicht. Wo sind wir überhaupt? Ah, guck mal, da steht schon London.
Ja, ja, wir können fahren.
Ich will natürlich auch nicht fahren, wenn er so mitten im Dings drin ist, ne?
Ich hätte mir schon auch nicht vorgestellt, dass die Kabinett da noch reinlabert. Fährt extra um 4 Uhr nachts oder sowas. Opa, Digga, was ist denn los?
Ja, da sind die Stadt.
Ja.
Oh, alles. Jetzt hab ich gar nicht.
So, I've just gotten off the N87, and you find me literally right at the heart of the government of the United Kingdom. I am on Whitehall. Whitehall is where the N53 starts, which I always found a bit weird. Why does it not just go one stop further and go to Trafalgar Square with the rest of them? But yeah, I'm on Whitehall, which means I'm surrounded by lots of big buildings. In there, I think, might be Horse Guards Parade. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like Horse Guards Parade, but it might not be. Over there is the old War Offices. That is where, World War II was planned. Well, the British side of it, obviously. There's an N109 over there. Dreading that route. That's the only route in London I actively avoid. Even the daytime 109 I'm fine with, but the N109... no, it's bad vibes all round. And now we're in central London, I'm not being so cavalier with crossing roads, because it's busy. Oh no, Horse Guards Parade is over there. That's Horse Guards Parade. I don't know what that other thing was, but Downing Street's just down that way somewhere. So this one, I would call it a little street, but it's far from it. It's a 4-lane, basically a dual carriageway. But this little street in southwest central London is where this country is run. Pretty much every single building that you see lining this road is government offices. And oh, there's a 453 over there. Ooh, I'm crossing the road. There's a 453. Every building you see lining this road is or was government offices. And at the end, all the way down there, is Parliament Square, where we have the House of Parliament. Now, I can't remember where the N53 starts. If the camera's shaky, it's because it's a little bit cold out tonight. It's not gotten warmer as we've gone on. Dear me. So, I'm gonna find the N53 and hope that I've not got too long to wait. Although, what is that down there? That is an N20. Okay, cool. A lot of the buses that come in from the north, even if they terminate on Trafalgar Square itself, they will do their turn-back procedure here. So yeah. Whoa!
Bricklayer Arms and New Cross now. This whole area basically is called New Kent Road.
Peckham Park Road.
Well, we're near Peckham, so you know we're in southeast London now, for sure. And the N53, it's a very short extension of the daytime 53 from Waterloo Lower Marsh. Just nip across the Westminster Bridge, but like actually the Westminster Bridge, not the Vauxhall Bridge. Actually the Westminster Bridge, and then just a couple stops up Whitehall. It's a very weird little extension. But again, it's just one of those that sort of, it looks a little bit pointless, but it makes the 53 so much more useful as a night bus, rather than just having the 53 run all night to Waterloo. Commercial way, yeah, that doesn't tell me where I am, but I'm on this all the way down to Plumstead, where I'll be ending the video. Because I was wondering if maybe I could string on a run on the N1. But the N1, the last N1 from Thamesmead, leaves Thamesmead at 4:30, and it doesn't take too long to get to Plumstead from there. And it's currently 5:02, and I'm on the new Kent Road. I'm on the old Kent Road now. Okay, that's changed. Road name change. So yes, N53 goes through Waterloo, where it basically rejoins the route of the daytime 53. Then goes through Elephant Castle, through Bricklayers Arms, a bit of New Kent Road, then onto Old Kent Road, through New Cross. Then it goes through, I believe, Deptford, rather than Lewisham. Then through Woolwich, but it doesn't take the main road through Woolwich. It takes like a back street. It's very odd. And then eventually finds its way onto the main road to Plumstead. And because it terminates at Plumstead, it doesn't stick on the main road all the way through Plumstead. It sort of goes down some back streets first, and terminates at Plumstead station. I don't know why it can't terminate at Plumstead bus garage. That would be nice, unless that would make the route shorter. I'm not entirely sure. Southeast London is not one of the parts of town that I'm most familiar with. That would certainly go to North and East London easily, by a long shot. I know too much about North and East London.
Whitehall Station. Plumstead Common, the ship.
Right, so as 12369 leaves me to head back to Plumstead Bus Garage, I have arrived at the end of the N53 at Plumstead Station, supposedly. I've been dropped on Griffin Road. It's a weird little side street, you know. The far end of the N53 is actually quite fun. It's, you know, it feels like a proper little local route. There's a big sign that says Plumstead over here. Now, I'm not getting the train back home, I'm getting the bus. But I'm in Plumstead. That was, you know, it all went a bit pear-shaped at the start, but we saved it. You know, we got a fair bit done. What did we actually do? Like, so we got the 220, which absolutely fell to pieces from the word go. But, you know, that's how these things go sometimes. Then we got on the, what was it? The 93, down to North Cheam, which was really good run. That was really good. I like the 93, it's a really nice route. That BMW sounds really nice. Looked like a 3 Series. So, anyway. Also really nice, but it's an SUV and therefore I have to hate it. Anyway, back on track. After the 93, which was really good, we got on the 213, which also really good. And I actually did make a little mistake when I was describing the 213's route. It doesn't follow the SL7. It goes through New Malden Town Centre. I forgot that the SL7 doesn't actually go through New Malden. It sort of bypasses it. So, yeah, there was that. Then we got on the N87, finally an N prefix night route. How long did that take us? Well, our third route. And then after the N87 took us into central London, we got on the N53 and came out here to Plumstead, which is a big load of nothing. But, you know, that's Southeast London for you. So, all in all, I have to say, pretty successful. So, as normal, Monday will be City Bus Manager from the South Coast. And Thursday will be City Bus Manager again from West Scotland. So, I will see you next week on Bye Night. Bye-bye.